Hey everyone, welcome back to Vicarious Gaming. We are continuing our Doom Eternal playthrough. Today we'll be doing level 3 as well as a quick detour through the Fortress of Doom.
Yep, let's go ahead and get started. So like Jen said, we are on level 3, which is Cultist base, but we need to take a quick trip to power up the Fortress of Doom with the battery that we got from the last level, and we have some upgrades to pick up as well. So here we go, and we'll plug in our battery here to open up these doors.
Punch it real quick.
Yeah. For whatever reason, sometimes the interface to stick in those batteries doesn't work very well, so punching it happens a lot.
Didn't you mention that the interact button is the same as the punch button?
Yes. Yes, I think that's probably one of the reasons that a blood punch doesn't work, but I don't know enough about the inner workings of the game to say.
Yeah, I wanted to bring up that's something that happens not just on the Sentinel battery, but all throughout the game. It's I think something that is inconsistent. That in addition to the blood punch, just it's a weird gameplay feeling because you told me that you'll be like in a cutscene or trying to interact with a person, and then you just punch him in the face.
Yeah, so the next upgrade that we get after we do this little demon prison is a suit upgrade point. And the way that you get those, there are these little tokens that are handed out by these dead Sentinel warriors. But since you can't grab very efficiently sometimes, you usually just punch them in the face a couple times before actually grabbing the token.
So it doesn't sound like it's a huge, other than blood punch, it doesn't sound like it has a huge impact on gameplay, but it's just a weird feeling. And something that you're like, okay, that's definitely not right.
Yes, yeah. We've talked about before that for a AAA game, honestly, there are a lot of bugs. They have workarounds for all of them. So you see the bug happening and you're like, that's probably not how that's supposed to work. But they have put other systems in place to make those bugs less noticeable.
Mm-hmm.
So let's grab our suit upgrade point. I'm not going to actually spend it on anything. We'll do a quick look at the. So this is the menu for upgrading your suit. Yeah, you can see you have different types of upgrades. They're all in their own categories. I'm not going to buy any right now just because one token you can't really get very much. So I will wait to upgrade my grenades probably first. The upgrade points are going to come fast and hard after this level. They introduce this thing called combat. What are they? I don't remember what they call them exactly. But they're side missions you can do, like snipe a turret off an Aractron or something like that. And then they award you more upgrade points for completing those optional challenges.
That's actually cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I'll show that screen before we start Cultist base.
I really like objectives. I think for me, trying to beat a whole game is too big of a goal, but getting the little tiny progress of like, oh, I have now mastered hitting the weak point on that Arachnotron, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's also a way for the developers to convince you to play in a certain way. They have figured out what is the fun way to play, and they are trying to show the player how to play in that way that is most fun and also most efficient. Yes, we have looked at the mission challenges, thank you. That's a big issue with game design, actually. It does not matter if there is a way to play the game that's just super fun and just minute-to-minute gameplay is awesome. If there is a way that is easier, players will always do the easier way.
Yeah, kind of the same thing with just UI design in general. You have to think about what someone who doesn't know what you intended will think when they look at your interface. And sometimes that means they're going to try to put weird stuff into a form, or they're going to try to refresh the page and oh, I never refreshed the page when I was developing, and things like that.
Yep. Oh, hello. I thought you were dead. Alright, so one of my challenges, I think, is to light 4 guys on fire. Yep, there we go. And there's my challenge. And what did I get for that? I probably got a suit upgrade point for that.
Yeah. Yes, that's what it was.
And there's another battery that we can get to further unlock our ship later. A lot of hidden secrets in this game. We might have mentioned it before, but the exploration plays very much like a Metroidvania type game or a Dark Souls-y type game where you're rewarded for exploring all these nooks and crannies. But it's a very linear game, so it's an interesting kind of contrast to a more open world type like Dark Souls. Oof, trap. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I usually save that chainsaw. Oops. We'll do it live. So there are a lot of... Cultist base is kind of where the game starts to take the gloves off. You get the super shotgun, which is kind of categorically the strongest weapon in the game. And you get introduced to a lot of new types of enemies.
The Slayer has arrived.
And the tutorials are gonna slow down after this point.
Hang on. All mortally challenged personnel was very funny.
Yeah, demons is rude. They actually prefer if you don't call them that. So normally, this is one of our new enemies, the Mancubis. Normally I run up ahead and chainsaw this guy. But that's okay, we can live with it. The reason that I like to do that is because there's another one that spawns right there, and another one that comes out of the door that I just came out of, right there. Just like the Arachnotrons, these guys have weak points that you can expose.
Yeah, I was hearing the little pings that we were talking about.
Yep. So with the Mancubis, destroying their weak point makes their projectiles weaker, smaller, and slower. And they also have a flamethrower alternate attack, which is disabled if you take out their arm turrets. Again, it's something where you don't have to take out those weak points, but if you do, you're going to have a much easier time usually. Wait for my ammo here. There we go. Let's see if we can get that Arachnotron turret. There we go.
That was nice of him to poke it up above the cover.
Yep.
What was that animation? Did you just like take a part of him and shove it in his mouth?
So one of his alternate attacks when you destroy his turret is that he throws little grenades at you. So I took one of the grenades and put it in his mouth.
That's pretty good. Those little touches are, I think, play so well into the power fantasy and giving you this sense that like there is this one thing that the Slayer does really well, and that's killing some demons, and he knows how to do that.
Yep. Yeah. We've probably mentioned that with the glory kills before, but that is an idea that's been executed before poorly, and so people heard they were coming to Doom, and they were like, I don't actually care for that, but they were executed in a really, really good way, so it works out. Some of the reasons that it works out so well is, first of all, they're pretty fast executions, and there's a rune that you can take later in the game that makes them even faster if you so desire. I actually prefer to not take that rune because I like to look around when I'm doing a glory kill. It's a moment where you can take a breath and be like, okay, what's going on here? Where are my enemies at? That kind of thing. Ooh, I don't have enough plasma rifle ammo for this. Have we seen shield guys before? No, we haven't seen shield guys before. In Doom 2016, shield guys were really annoying because they had a tough shield. In this game, if you shoot it with a plasma rifle, the shield explodes and destroys everything around it. Again, all about counterplay and each weapon having a spot to fill, you know? The only weapon that I really don't use, kind of as the game goes on, is the original combat shotgun. Other than that, every single weapon has a place to fill. So I'm preparing this arena a little bit. We're gonna come back here, and there's gonna be a guy that spawns there, and I just kind of like to blow him up, just right out of the gate, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I was thinking about the energy shield still. That feels like that may have taken some inspiration from Halo, where if you shoot the Covenant with their own guns, their shields just kind of melt. But against your guns, they're extremely strong.
Yes, and yeah, Halo carried that through with kind of not a triangle, I guess, but each faction in Halo has its own weaknesses. I think there's a Caco demon. Yeah, there's a Caco demon. That I missed. Oh boy. This is a very hectic fight. Excuse me for a second while I concentrate a lot.
Alright. I'm gonna do some talking. I don't know what about yet.
We were talking about Halo and the kind of maybe not the juxtaposition, but how, again, having different things working for different guns and different enemies is key to the experience.
Yeah, we also talked about the developers encouraging you to play in like different styles, and I was thinking about Hades has done that as well with a bunch of different mechanics, like the heat that you get after you beat Hades, and also rewarding you with more currency for using different weapons, so that you don't just pick a favorite and then use that weapon indefinitely.
Yeah, it's an interesting system that allows you to say, like, okay, you know, if you just want to use the sword, like, that's fine. You're not gonna have things that you are unable to do without the sword, but on the other hand, it will consistently reward you with the speed of your progression if you branch out and try new weapons. And a lot of times you branch out and try new weapons and you're like, oh man, that weapon's pretty cool, I'm gonna use that more often.
Yeah, or you'll get a boon that just works really well with that particular weapon, and then you can kind of work that into one of your options. Say, like, if I'm doing a run where I'm focusing on this specific god's boons, then I can choose my weapon.
Yep. Here's our new character again, the Whiplash. Whiplashes are, they're a pain. They will be much less of a pain in about 2 seconds. They introduce this enemy to you here for the first time, and you don't have the main tool that most people use to kill Whiplashes, which is the lock-on burst on the rocket. Let's see. Okay, good. Cool. So lock-on burst, Whiplashes, I'm not sure how apparent it was there, but Whiplashes are very fast. You know, they slither on the ground, so they are hard to hit with a lot of conventional weapons. But you grab lock-on burst, and lock-on burst lets you lock onto an enemy, and you fire 3 shots, 1, 2, 3, and that will one-shot not only a Whiplash, but a lot of heavy demons. I'm going to spend some of my upgrade points real quick on the lock-on burst. So this is, we didn't really cover this very much yet. In addition to picking these new types of firing, you can also upgrade the specific attributes of, in this case, the lock-on burst. You can make the lock-on happen faster. And then in addition to that, once I get both of these, we have a third mastery unlock, which is you unlock it, like I said, by purchasing all the previous upgrades, and then you have to do a challenge in order to unlock it. Again, it's just a great way that the developer is like, okay, we have this way we want you to play the game. If you do it, we'll reward you for it.
Mm-hmm.
I believe there's a token in here.
Yeah, there you go. There was the punch.
just a little punch in the face. In the shoulder. He's fine. It was just a shoulder punch.
It was a friendly little bump on the shoulder.
Thanks, bud. Doomba.
I didn't catch that at first.
Yeah. They just have these little Roombas that run around sucking up their blood and wax from all the candles, I guess. I don't know. Oh, this is a rough fight too. So you take out that Mancubis' weak points, and it's just like, you're not a big deal to me anymore. There's gonna.
So you said this was kind of a difficult fight. Do you have a strategy going into it?
For this fight oh, that was my blood punch. Whoops. For this fight in particular, no. There's a lot of incidental cover in this map. You can see there's a lot of kind of these straight up and down walls. Using those to your advantage definitely helps, because there's a lot of long-range enemies like Revenants and Arachnotrons that are in this section. Keep your distance, try and take out those weak points, and yeah, try and stay in cover.
Don't die.
Yep, don't die is always a good one. I'm working on that one personally right now. Hell Knight, cool. Good lock on boost candidate. Also good lock on boost candidate. There's a whiplash in there that I heard. Oh, hello. Don't want you to do things. I need to chainsaw someone. Don't want to chainsaw. Well, okay, fine. So that Mancubis, I knew he was weaker. Nor if he had had both of his cannons, I would not have gone in for that chainsaw. But the fact that he was weakened, and I knew he would punish me a little bit for it, but I knew I would survive it.
Yeah.
Dead, good. There's still a whiplash around here. Yeah, I hear him. The sound design in this game is so key as you get later on. Hearing all the, it's not dissimilar to Overwatch, where every sound has a purpose and a meaning. You know, you hear which characters are doing which abilities all the time. You know, whether, oops, scratch my arm for 1 second. You hear which characters are doing which abilities, where they are, if you're getting flanked. And the same thing kind of applies here, you know. You hear that little rattlesnake noise from the whiplash, and you say like, oh, I don't know where he is, but I need to be moving because that whiplash is fast and they will come up on me. Quick little nightmare pro tip. Save this chainsaw ammo. Don't take it during this fight. Take it after the fight and the next fight, which is where many nightmare runs end, becomes much easier. Someone's shooting at me? Okay, that's fine. Oh shit. I was not paying attention for that. Okay, so we have a battery, and there is an extra life. Yeah, there's an extra life. That was what I was going for, and I completely forgot about the Cacodemon. I see there that time the punch didn't really land. Alright, and go neck. Cool. How many suit? Yeah, let's do some suit upgrades real quick. Dash refill. Mobility is king in this game. The upgrade I just took just makes my dash recharge about half the speed that it used to recharge. Can you see it, brothers? Apparently they used to have this hologram of this guy in like life size, kind of like the UAC lady who we've seen, but they saw just the effect from having him kind of looming and towering over anything, and they were like, oh yeah, that's much better. Much more ominous for a boss at the end of the level.
Your super shotgun is nearby. A relic from your past.
Super shotgun. So excited.
In this remote location.
Okay. Alright, so this is the fight that really ends nightmare runs. We're going to jump down into a very small space. After a little while, the walls are going to be on fire, and they're just going to drop a bunch of heavies in on us. But if you save the chainsaw ammo like I did, you can chainsaw, because there's one chainsaw ammo at the bottom of the pit too. So you can chainsaw these guys and just really cut out a lot of the difficulty of this fight. Oh yeah, we have cue balls. Cue balls are what are called ambient demons, I believe. They don't attack you. You can just use them to blow up enemies.
The Slayer is inside the facility. Please proceed with aggression.
Alright, so we have these guys coming in. And alright, where's the whiplash? I know you're coming. Oh, this guy's still alive. Oh, the whiplash came anyway, oh boy. Okay, so you get that whiplash first. Get this arachnotron too. Watch out for the gargoyles.
Don't die.
Yeah, don't die. That one is also key. Oh boy. Let's see if I can use that cue ball. Ah, he dodged it. Come on, come on. There we go. Okay, here we go. And then the Mancubises that we can just chainsaw. Walls are on fire.
Walls are on fire.
Stuff's
I did
getting
notice
real.
that.
Chainsaw. Those two Mancubises together will just destroy a nightmare run. But if there's only one, I can just kind of kite him around the middle here. So it's not nearly as bad. You just kite him around, take your shots, maybe freeze him, and then finish him with a lock-on burst or something. And wham bam. That's the pit fight. That's a hard fight. My blood pressure always goes up when I'm fighting that.
It looked really good from my end. I was very impressed.
Thank you. It was not smooth. I've done it much smoother. Probably something to do with talking at the same time, if I had to guess.
Yeah, and that's why we're not doing an Ultra Nightmare run, just because we wanted to kind of do a little bit of commentary as well.
Yeah, it's something I very, very briefly considered trying to do another Ultra Nightmare run for it, but like you said, it's hard. And I believe I died in level 2 on the recording we did anyway, so that would have been a very quick series. A little challenge here. Yeah, we can do this one. I don't think this one's very hard if I remember right. Oh, no thank you. Okay, and then that guy. Cool, combat encounter. Alright, so we are en route to get the super shotgun right now. In Doom 2016, the super shotgun was absolutely broken. You could play through the entire game basically only using the super shotgun. They balanced it a bit more for this one. It's still insanely powerful, but it's not something that you can cheese your way through the entire game with as easily. But it's very powerful. The final upgrade for it, the mastery upgrade, like we talked about before, is that it gives you armor in it, just like your flamethrower does. Oh boy, I wish you weren't existing. I am regretting a little bit. Oh, hello. I am regretting a little bit not upgrading my grenades, but that's okay. We will get there pretty soon. There's still a revenant? No? Okay, I got him. There's a secret. Yeah, another battery for our Fortress of Doom. So the upgrades that we can unlock with these batteries are in the Fortress of Doom where we got that token. You can get, let me think. You can get crystals, which upgrading health, armor, ammo. You can get weapon upgrade points. Oh, that's not good. You can get weapon upgrade points, and you can also get suit upgrade. Yeah, suit upgrade points. And here we're gonna quick little advertisement for multiplayer mode in this game. You just get to take control of a revenant for a little bit to retrieve your super shotgun. The way that the devs describe the super shotgun is, this is your Excalibur, kind of, you know? Alright. I'm the demon now.
Neural connection successfully. You are now in control of the revenue drum.
For what it is, to be fair, it's not that bad as far as an advertisement for multiplayer. It could have gone on much, much longer. Some developers just make a whole level that's just, hey, we have this thing that we want you to try in some other area of the game. Do it, please. And then they'll also make it difficult. This, if you didn't like this, and then it was also hard to do, it would really be annoying as a player. But it's quick. They give you a shitload of health. Easy peasy.
Yeah, they sure do. Wow.
Yeah. I'm not sure I've ever even gotten close to dying in this.
Yeah, it would be incredibly frustrating if you were working on a nightmare run or an ultra nightmare run, and then you had this part that you don't even like that ended your run.
Yep. Yeah, you don't even like it. It does if you didn't like it, and if it doesn't play like the rest of the game plays, then that's just demotivating. All right. Super shotgun, baby. And let's take it back. We're gonna have a moral quandary here, Jen. I'm gonna need you to be my conscience.
Okay.
You'll see. It's the true choice that separates good from evil. Is it very cool, just kind of like offering up to him. Okay, what do I do, Jennifer?
You kill him.
Got it. You chose correctly. So real quick, benefit of doing the Slayer gates up to now is you can pick up both the full auto, or not the full auto, the lock on burst upgrade, and you can immediately upgrade the super shotgun, which is such a big deal. So our mastery for the super shotgun is flaming hook. In order to get that, I need to kill 50 demons while using the meat hook attachment, which is a grappling hook, but you can only grapple into combat. It's like we talked about before, that
push forward combat.
Yep, push forward combat. Every single tool that they give you is designed to make you more violent. You're not getting stuff that says like, oh, okay, I can run away from this and just I'll take cover and it'll be fine. You have to get into the fight.
Yep, the you're not trapped in there with them, they're trapped in there with you thing.
Yep. Die. Yeah, lock on burst. As you can see, lock on burst really trivializes a lot of the heavy enemies when they're by themselves. And then working it into your rotation when you are fighting larger groups is also really helpful. Ooh, ice bomb? No ice bomb. Okay. I need to chainsaw someone after this. Okay. I believe this is also a lamp. Yeah, there we go. And then this is a Mancubis? Yep. Oh, I'm out of ammo.
Is ammo specific to each weapon?
Sort of. There are different ammo types. So the shells that I use for the super shotgun are the same shells for the combat shotgun. We don't have the ballista yet, but the ballista uses the same ammo that the plasma rifle uses. This is a cacodemon.
So when you do get ammo, does it come in all of the different types, or are there different ways to get different types of ammo?
If you chainsaw, you get ammo from all the different types. If you do not chainsaw and you just find it on the ground, it's whatever type it is that you find. Okay. Oh, I don't have rockets. Whoops. I need rockets real quick. Give me a rocket. This is a fun room, I think, because it looks like it'd be really hard, right? There's a lot of guys in the back, and you've got these giant blades coming down the whole time. But you can flamethrow this huge group of guys, and then you've just got plenty of armor laying around.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna attempt to get mastery of the super shotgun before the next level, the end of the next level, I should say, because there's a boss fight there, and it's made a lot easier if your super shotgun also sets people on fire.
Yeah, it sounds like it would make a lot of situations easier just in general.
Yeah. Just general life tips, you know, set people on fire and you'll probably be alright. Alright, token over here. And there's a combat encounter coming up that is one of the harder ones. It's one that I specifically chose not to do during my Ultra Nightmare run, just because I didn't want to mess with it. It's 2 whiplashes and a Mancubis, I believe, that are in pretty tight corners, or quarters, not corners. Yes, quarters is indeed the correct word for that. So it's a pretty hard fight. We'll see how I do. So the whiplashes are going to spawn there, and then the Mancubis comes from up there. So let's see what we can do. Not a great start.
No, I believe in you.
Oh boy. I do have extra lives, so I won't die, but not smooth. Okay, there we go. Did the encounter. Not great, but that's okay.
Yeah, it must be so difficult. Like, this is already a hard game. It must be so difficult to think and play it. Think about what you're talking about, and then also think about what you're playing at the same time.
Yeah, it's a little rough. I've always kind of been a bit of a multitasker, but yes, it is. It's a lot of processing power on the brain.
Yeah.
Alright, there's a secret here, I believe. Yes. Toy? I'm watching you. In one of the master levels, so the master levels are basically, they have the same level layout, but they changed the enemies to make it harder. In one of the master levels, they decided to spawn a bunch of these on the ground that were not there before. And I ran into the level and I saw that at first and I was like, I see you trying to trick me, Hugo. Take out those Mancubis cannons. Oh. Okay.
One thing that I'm noticing more as we're getting into the variety of demons is you've told me before about the destructible demons and how there's kind of a visual metric for how much health they have left, and I am noticing chunks flying off as like that.
Yep.
as we're hitting them.
Yeah, and it's also, you know, when you do the glory kills, it's a up close and personal, like, hey, what's up? Here's the damage you've done to this guy.
Mm-hmm.
They've never actually published, and I think the security on the game is good enough that no one really knows exactly how much health demons have in the game. They just, you just kind of have to guesstimate based on what you know about how much damage your weapons do to them and just how beat up they look. Oh right, super shotgun upgrades. Forgot about that. I believe. Yeah, we come over here. Oh yeah, there's a Slayer gate here. That's gonna be a rough one probably for Chaboy. Yeah, so as you can see, like once you get the meat hook, you can just zip around the battlefield like it's nothing. There is, I think they might have mentioned that this was not something they intended, but after they saw it happen, they were like, yeah, we gotta leave that in the game. If you meat hook something and then jump, you get more air than you would naturally from a jump. So you can meat hook and then just go shoot up in the air. I did it a little bit earlier. I didn't call it out at the time, so I don't know if it was readily apparent, but it really just takes the traversal to another level. I'm gonna save for that. Have I completed all the... I've done all the challenges. Bummer. Okay, I might not be able to get 2 grenades in this level. That's okay though. Also, for the smaller demons like that, you could see as I meat hooked that guy, he was basically stunned. So it's another way to stop attacks from happening to you.
Mhm.
So there's our Slayer gate. Let's grab the key real quick. Boop. I believe there might be a Marauder in this Slayer gate, which that's gonna be rough if there is. Marauders are probably the hardest solo enemy in the game, especially if there's other enemies to back them up. We'll see. We'll see what happens. The so it's interesting that they decided to put in not just more enemies in these encounters, but harder ones that you haven't seen yet. Okay, it's not the Marauder one, thank God. That would have been a nightmare. Uh-huh. You proud of yourself?
Yeah.
Let's get some ammo. Oh, that's... Oh, shit. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. This is not going swimmingly. Let's try and get a little distance, get a little ammo from that Mancubis. Okay, that's fine, I guess. Oh, he jumped inside me. That's not good. I did not consent. Oh boy.
Yeah, this fight is radically different now that you have the traversal.
Yep. Yeah. It's all about having the tools to do what you need to do. And like I said, this is kind of the part in the game where the gloves are going to come off a little bit. They're kind of done teaching you the basics of how this game works and what you need to know. And it's just, alright, let's see how well you can execute on it. Like that weak point there. If I hadn't gotten that guy's weak point and stunned him a bit, that would have been very bad for me. Oh boy. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Okay. Here we go. Dead? Dead. Good. You can take environmental damage in this game, but you can't take damage from your own grenades. You can take damage from your own rockets, but if you are in a tough spot, sometimes you can just throw a grenade at your feet, and it'll give you a little bit of breathing room, whether it's an ice grenade or a frag grenade. I don't know, again, this might not have been readily apparent, but frag grenades guaranteed stun every enemy around them momentarily. It's called a stagger, I think is what they decided to call it. You can see, well, that guy just died, but... that's a Caco demon. Okay. It's fine. It's fine, Jennifer.
I love the gulpy noise they make when they swallow the grenade.
Yeah, yeah, and it's all about, like, that sound feedback that we were talking about earlier, that it's funny, but it also says if you are having to focus on something else, it's like, okay, you definitely landed that. You can come back and get him in a moment.
Yeah.
Just the overall design for this game, there's so much care that they took with it. There's another Arachnotron somewhere. There you are. I did bad. Ooh, wasn't good. Ooh. Oh, come on. The super shotgun is so good. The only reason I think that it's not, you know, the kind of the same type of weapon where you just stick to it and don't use anything else is because there's you can swap between weapons quicker than you can reload. So in many cases, even if the super shotgun did more damage per hit than any other weapon in the game, the reload time is long enough that you have to at least stagger it with something else.
And so it reloads if you are on a different weapon?
Yes, so let's see if I can demonstrate this real quick. So, super shotgun, okay. You can, you can do a switch like that. I normally do my switches with the ballista, so that was honestly not a very clean switch. But, well, you'll see what I mean once we get the ballista. Trust me. Quick swapping, it's one of those things that you don't have to do it to play the game and enjoy it. A lot of people don't because they don't like doing it. For a while after I got the game, I had a hard time doing it, and so I was just like, you know what? I don't need to do this. I'm not gonna spend the time right now to master that. I'm just enjoying how I'm playing the game my way. And eventually, I decided to do the Ultra Nightmare run, and I had to learn it to do that. But it's again, it's one of those things that this game has a high skill ceiling, but it's not inaccessible because of it.
Yeah, I was just thinking that too. It seems like each level of difficulty has a place that if you want to just be a casual player, then you can still enjoy the game at a lower difficulty, but the higher difficulty is when you get into what Hugo was calling those like combat puzzles,
Yep.
where there's something to solve.
Yep.
And you need to make these really fine adjustments to your playstyle.
Yep. Yeah, there's definitely people that are just insane with the weapon swapping. They will switch from weapon to weapon to weapon just like it's nothing and delete the heaviest enemies in the game in a second or two.
This isn't that kind of channel, people.
Nope. I am aggressively mediocre at video games.
If you're mediocre, I don't want to think about what I am.
Slightly less mediocre? That didn't come through on the capture, but she did laugh.
Oh, whoops. This is awkward.
Oh boy, that's a bad situation. Rockets? There's a shotgun guy somewhere. Oh, you did not die. I thought you would die from that lock on. Oh well. I hear a whiplash too. There he is. Okay, cool. I need ammo. There are a lot of shield guys though, and that makes... There you go, that'll do. Mancubis. Oh, I am getting flanked. Getting surrounded in this game is usually 100% death. Do I already run out? Okay, fine. I gotta take out that Mancubis cannon. There we go.
Yeah, I think we're starting to see like the pace of combat now. To me, it's starting to be a little bit overwhelming.
Yes, it is. It takes some getting used to. Like I said, there's a reason that everything in this game sounds so unique, because it's just too much input to just do visually. You have to have ways to communicate things to the player other than just, oh, well, you didn't see it, so guess you're not gonna get it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's all of them. Oh, the Mancubis is still alive. Yeah, that was that jump I was talking about where I shot him and then just launched into the air.
Oh yeah, I did notice that.
I believe... Yeah, there's no sequence here. And this is the end of Cultist base. The next level is going to be Doom Hunter base, where we'll see our first sort of boss of the game. He's not a true boss, but we'll talk about that more when we get to it. But I think that is about it for us then. Thank you so much for watching, guys.
Yeah, we're having so much fun doing these recordings, so really appreciate you sticking with us. And like I mentioned before, we'll definitely keep making these as long as there's interest, so let us know.
Yep. Sounds good. All right. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.